I was caught by a phrase I read recently. God of welcome, you invite me into your family. I sit at your table and savour your word to me. And then later in the same thing I was reading, it said, help me to receive all the nourishment you have for me today. And those phrases got me thinking about the nourishment that I take from God. And I thought about the Bible, and there's lots of references to the hospitality of God. It starts in Genesis, where trees are pleasing to the eye, but also good to eat. And we see it in the Psalms, where God spreads a table before me in Psalm 23, and in Psalm 36, that we can feast from the abundance of God's own house. We see Elijah broken, exhausted, being fed by an angel with fresh water and hot-baked bread. And the New Testament is full of references to feasts and banquets. We see Jesus regularly having meals with friends, with people he doesn't know that are desperate to know more of this Jesus. It seems he liked talking with people in this way. And we see him feeding 5,000 on a hillside so that there's more than enough to go around. Everyone, it says, is satisfied. There's even baskets of leftovers. So we can see that hospitality and generosity, the two things go hand in hand with this wonderful God. And if we think of how he offers hospitality, he offers it with open arms. He invites, he welcomes anyone. All comers are welcome at the table of our God. And we are all treated like we are long lost sons. We're all treated as though we are the most honoured, special guest. Irrespective of who we are or what we've done, God welcomes us into his family. And his word tells us that we can feast on the things that he gives us. And it made me think about how I get my nourishment from God. And in terms of taking meals, mealtime growing up always used to be sitting around a table with a family, and there'd be time for conversation. It was an important time for family to get together. Now I think it's more rare, and families do get together, but perhaps less frequently. Big family get-togethers, perhaps special occasions. When you go out for a meal, you might sit there and eat several courses and enjoy each one. But increasingly, food is fast, like the rest of the pace of life. And we might grab a sandwich. It's a grab and go. Or we may just take something and eat it without really thinking, perhaps in front of the television or with our phone on, and we're not really paying attention to what we're eating. We're quite distracted. And it made me think of taking nourishment from God. Am I keen to just grab and go? Do I want something that somebody else has thought about God, something pre-digested, somebody else's ideas about the Word of God? And when the appetizer comes, do I go, oh, that was nice, but walk away before I've tasted anything else? Do I stay for the main course? Something that's more substantial, something that might have surprising ingredients in it. It might be presented in a way I'm not sure about. It might not be what I'm expecting, but it will be nourishing and it will be more substantial. It will take more eating. Am I going to stay for the sweetness of a pudding? That part of the meal when it slows down a little bit? And am I going to linger at the table when the food is finished and the conversation becomes more intimate? It becomes closer. Confidences are exchanged and people often talk in a more personal and real way. And I was challenged by these phrases. I sit at your table and savour your word to me. And I was saddened by the thought that so often I've left God standing there with a banquet prepared of food that he knows I need, and I just grab and go. Or I take something, go, oh, that was nice, and then wander off because I'm busy. Or I eat it without thinking of the love that has gone into preparing it. And certainly missing those times of intimacy at the end of a meal when you can get really, really close to someone, because at last you can ask each other what they're thinking, what they're feeling. And I was very challenged by how I take my nourishment from this wonderful, wonderful God who wants nothing better than to give me what I need. Meals each day, give us this day our daily bread. Meals each day, specifically prepared because he knows what I need, and never in short supply. I can come to God, I can come to his table as often as I want. There's never going to be food that's run out. He's never going to run out of things he wants to share with me. And it's up to me to come and to feast on the abundance of God's amazing provision.